Good morning and a very warm welcome. You are watching Janata Television and this is English Bulletin with me, Utsa Bhattrai. The top stories first. Dissident faction of NCP to recite constitution on the streets demands Prime Minister Oli to apologise for dissolving parliament. Prime Minister Oli threatens former Chief Justices, tells the Chief Justices to respect the independence of judiciary. Janata Broadcasting and Publication adopts policies to become self-reliant, pledges to present people-oriented programs. Indonesian plane crashes after takeoff. Fate of 62 passengers remain yet to be known. And a West Brom crash out of FA Cup. Manchester United and Arsenal victorious. And now, the news in detail. The Hal Nepal faction of Nepal Communist Party is preparing to organize a program today to recite the Constitution of Nepal on the streets. Prior to this, the dissident faction of the ruling party had already sent letter of dissent through all 77 district administration offices of the country. The district leaders also presented a copy of the Constitution to remind the Prime Minister of its provisions. A faction of leaders of the NCP have been opposing the unilateral move of the government to dissolve the Law House. The dissident leaders have termed the move as unconstitutional and demanded the Prime Minister to reinstate the Law House. They have also demanded the Prime Minister to apologise. However, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli is adamant that the House of Representatives cannot be reinstated and says there is no alternative to election. Meanwhile, Prime Minister KP Sharma Oli has warned former Chief Justices to not threaten the country's judiciary. Addressing a mass meeting of the party's youth association in Kathmandu yesterday, Prime Minister Oli requested everyone to respect the independence of judiciary and not to threaten the courts. Prime Minister Oli's recent warning came in the aftermath of a joint public statement released by 4 former Chief Justices on Friday. The Prime Minister has expressed strong objection to the statement.
चुनाव वैशाख 17 गते 78 साल वैशाख 17 गते र 78 साल वैशाख 27 गते वैशाख 17 गते शुक्रबार वैशाख 27 गते सोमबार नै चुनाव त्यसकारण यसमा कोही पनि साथीहरु दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनीहरु देशवासीहरु कोही पनि भ्रममा अन्यलमा पर्न जरुरी छैन.
Prime Minister Oli asserted he has never defamed the judiciary or chanted slogans against the court in the streets and roads of the country. Prime Minister Oli also directed all political parties to actively prepare for the midterm elections announced for April 30 and May 10 later this year.
एकपल्ट अदालतमा जागिर खाएको भरमा केही मान्छे कोर्पोरेट जागिर खाएको थियो कि अहिले पनि जागिरमै छन् भन्ने बिर्सिएर यस्तो हुन्छ र उस्तो हुन्छ भन्ने कुरा थाहा म उहाँहरूलाई भन्न चाहन्छु उहाँहरू जस्तो सर्वोच्च अदालतका सर्वोच्च ठाउँमा पुगिसकेका बसिसकेका मान्छेहरूले सर्वोच्च अदालतलाई गलत ढङ्गले प्रभावित गर्ने गुमराहमा पार्ने अल्मल्याउने अथवा धम्काउने खालका कुनै पनि क्रियाकलाप उहाँहरूलाई गर्न सक्दैन उहाँहरूले सक्दैन.
Parties and civil society leaders have been protesting across the nation against the dissolution of Law House by the President upon the recommendation of Prime Minister Oli last month. Janata Broadcasting and Publication Limited has adopted a policy to become self-reliant and launch important programs in the near future. The company has made a commitment to improve the standard of its programs and to present people-oriented materials while taking up artistry measures. The company, established with share investment of the general public, made such commitment during the 6th annual general meeting held yesterday. Janata Broadcasting and Publication Limited has special plans to make its television, radio and online news portal competitive in the market.
यस कम्पनीलाई हर हालतमा व्यावसायिक सफलतातिर उन्मुख गराउनै पर्दछ भने तथ्यलाई सञ्चालक समितिले गहिरो गरी बुझेको छ। सानो सानो लगानी जुटाएर स्थापित र सञ्चालित गरिएको हाम्रो कम्पनीको सफलताले यसले देशमा आर्थिक व्यावसायिक विकासको एउटा नयाँ नमुना मोडल स्थापित हुनेछ। सानो सानो लगानीबाट ठुला ठुला परियोजनाहरू स्थापित र सञ्चालित गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने आत्मविश्वास आम जनतामा मुखरित हुनेछ। यी तथ्यलाई हामीले गहिरो गरी बुझेका छौँ।
The company has plans to purchase land with its own investment with the objective to set up its own building. The company has cited coronavirus as the main obstacle in achieving its target. Board members of the company acknowledged the suggestions given by shareholders as a new directive during the current crisis.
हाम्रा एउटा सिनारूहरू यहाँहरूले मनन गर्नुहुनेछ र त्यसको सँगसँगै यहाँहरूले एकदम भावनात्मकको साथसाथै यसलाई महत्त्वपूर्ण सुझावहरू दिनुहुनेछ र यो कार्य समितिले त्यसलाई पथ मार्गको रूपमा अगाडि बढाउनेछ।
Promoters of the company suggested reporters to present fair and impartial news for the welfare of the country and its people.
आगामी दिनमा हामी सबै मिलेर त्यो दिशामा हामी जान्छौँ भन्ने मलाई लाग्छ। सञ्चार क्षेत्रको महत्त्व साह्रै ठुलो हुन्छ, हामी सबै जानकार छौँ र खास गरी साँचो कुरा भन्ने कतै पनि प्रभावित नभएर देशको पक्षमा, जनताको पक्षमा, सत्यको पक्षमा उभिने सञ्चार क्षेत्र, सञ्चार गृह त्यसको ठुलो महत्त्व हुन्छ, हामीले देखेका छौँ।
Shareholders present during the AGM suggested the company to add new plans to take the company to new heights. And now the news from Economic Front. Confederation of Nepalese Industry has demanded to further extend a deadline for submitting the income tax details and a registration update till 14th of April this year. Chairman of CNI Satish Kumar Moore, in his meeting with office bearers of concerned Department of Nepal government, put forward the demand for deadline extension. Most of the businesses and companies have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic since the 2019-2020 fiscal year. There can be no alternative than to extend the deadline, Chairman Moore said. Many businesses and industries are yet to make a comeback and carry out regular operations due to COVID-19 risk. The ones that have reoperated have not been able to update their accounts, hence extension of deadline till 14th of April is a must, Chairman Moore affirmed. According to the current Income Tax Act, the estimated income tax details should be submitted to the concerned department within 13th of January every year. Welcome back, and now the international news. An aircraft carrying 62 passengers crashed into the sea yesterday, minutes after taking off from Indonesia's capital, Jakarta, during a domestic flight. The fate of the passengers travelling in the aircraft belonging to Sri Wijaya Air is yet unknown by the time the news was filed. According to Reuters, the Boeing 737-500 en route to West Kalimantan disappeared from radar after taking off just after 2:30 p.m. local time. The plane had departed 30 minutes later than the scheduled time because of heavy rain. Indonesian Transport Minister Budi Karya told a news conference that 62 people had been on board flight SJ182, including 12 crew members. The plane reportedly crashed near Lucky Island, some 20 kilometers away from the airport. You are watching Janata Bulletin, and now the latest from the world of sports. West Brom have been sent back It was rather West Brom have been sent packing by League One Blackpool in the third round of FA Cup ties on penalties. Blackpool's goalkeeper Chris Maxwell, playing his first match after COVID-19 recovery, saved 3 spot kicks from Kyle Edwards, Darnell Fellow and Matthews Pereira, contributing to Baggies' defeat. According to Sky Sports, this was Blackpool's first FA Cup win over a top-flight opposition since they beat Burnley 1-0 45 years ago. The match had ended at a 2-2 draw after 90 minutes. In other FA Cup third-round ties, both Manchester United and Arsenal emerged as victorious. United defeated Watford with a single McTominay goal and Arsenal beat Newcastle 2-0. We are at the end of Janata Bulletin and the headlines once again. Dissident faction of NCP to recite Constitution on the streets demands Prime Minister Oli to apologise for dissolving Parliament. Prime Minister Oli threatens former Chief Justices, tells the Chief Justices to respect the independence of judiciary. Janata Broadcasting and Publication adopts policy to become self-reliant, pledges to present people-oriented programs. Indonesian plane crashes after takeoff. Fate of 62 passengers remain yet to be known. And West Brom crash out of FA Cup, Manchester United and Arsenal victorious. And that's all from the English News Desk for today. You can follow Janata Television and our programs on various social media platforms, including on our website at janatasamachar.com. Keep watching Janata Television. Namaste.